Alright, now time to try Museum of the Microstar. So far, it looks good in the Rift. Got the sweet spot. It looks nice and clear. One of the nice things that it does is since the mouse moves and it doesn't track as a 3D object, it's basically you're seeing the mouse in one eye or the other. So it's kind of weird. It kind of comes back, but no matter what side or what eye you're in, you can still choose start or exit. So I think that's an important input thing. That's one thing that the UDK, the Unreal demo, did not do, is the mouse position was all off. Awesome. Oh my god! Oh shit! Whoa! Wow. Just wow. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Wow, okay. Museum of the Microstar is just a fantastic example of seeing scale. Like, you have this, and you look at it on screen, and it's like, yeah, there's a big machine, and it's doing something with some yellow stuff, whatever. But you're inside, and when you have a sense of 3 dimensions, and of your scale, and your height, and being in the space, it's a totally different feeling. Like, it's really hard to describe, but I think a lot of 3D modelers and artists are going to be very happy with what VR does, because you make these epic, huge things, and you spend all this time making them, and they really, I mean, they look cool enough on screen, but there's just not that shock of wow, that just huge, I don't know, that really feeling that when you just shock and awe, when you look at something, like when something is built in real life and it's huge, and you look at it and you're like, wow, what did that take? The workmanship, it's huge, it's humongous. How did they even build that thing? And you get that same feeling looking at this item, these 2 mechanical arms that are just ridiculously humongous. And you don't get that sense. Even looking at the screen right now, I don't get that sense at all. It's just some things that are on screen. But I can tell exactly in the Rift how far away they are, how deep they are, how huge they are, and that's like a totally different experience. Not a gimmick. Totally not a gimmick. You can evoke a whole new set of emotions with this that is really very, very exciting. It's amazing. Alright, giving the Virtual Boy emulator a shot. I got the ROM for Mario Tennis. Let's see what we're looking at in the Rift. Pretty good. The 3D's decent. The field of view is kind of weird. It looks like I'm seeing more of the right side of the field. Maybe that's just how the game starts there. Alright, nice. Well, I've learned that I pretty much suck at Virtual Boy Tennis. It's really tough when it's just a sprite to tell where the ball is, actually. Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve. But it is very fun. It is very well. This might be a great time to have a Virtual Boy revival. If there's some games out there that I always want to play, now I can play them as, well, close to what they were presented as in 3D. So that's pretty sweet. Alright. Wow. First impressions. It's really fantastic field of view. The head tracking is definitely spot on, better than anything I've ever experienced before, by far. So that's big, big pluses. The motion blur is a factor. I did, notice it, especially in places with lots of detail, lots of stuff, like in the Museum of Microstar. Yeah, it has quite a bit, so that's something that will definitely need to be worked on. but yeah, it doesn't detract too much. The sense of scale is probably the most impressive part of the experience for me. Really being in a room and looking and realizing how tall you are, or how big something else is in comparison to the size of your own character, is that's really powerful stuff. I can definitely see different situations where, you know, an NPC might intimidate you because they're taller and bigger and get in your face. That would be really wild. The Virtual Boy emulator is definitely interesting. That is very cool. That is kind of not only, I mean, it was good, it was cool and awesome, but I think there's lots of potential for having 2D games or quasi 2D games in the Rift and still have that be an enjoyable experience, which would be interesting. I don't think that's something that anyone really expected. And even cooler if the head tracking actually made something happen. That would be pretty neat too. Yes, so far, overall, very impressed. Head tracking is fantastic. The sense of stereoscopic 3D is unreal, fantastic. Sense of scale is wonderful. The resolution is low. It's to be expected. It's only going to get better. And once it does, that opens the Rift up to a whole nother type of consumer, I think. Other than gaming, I mean, you put a 1080p or higher screen in there and a virtual theater, and you can sell it as a movie theater in a box. That's pretty much what you can do. I mean, it will beat everything on the market once it has a higher res screen. That's going to be pretty impressive. Yeah, I think that about wraps up the first impression. So if you have, you know, questions or anything like that, or something that you would like me to try, I'm definitely open to that. I do stay fairly busy, but you know, I'm always open to try something, or you know, give people access. I know there's going to be some people that are going to be waiting a while to get their Rifts. So if you have something that's really bugging you or detail that you'd like to ask, I'll be very open. You know, I'm pretty much you know, become a VR obsessive. So I'm always on, you know, either my blog or the developer forums or the subreddit. I pretty much visit them at least, you know, once a day at least, if not multiple times a day. So excellent, awesome, great stuff, and the future is here. Wow. Very impressive. Palmer, Nate, and the gang at Oculus, well done. And I'm going to be working my hardest to bring some awesome experiences to this platform. And yeah, I think it's the start of a revolution. It's really exciting here, people. All right.